Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu recently met with American influencers about how to keep Americans pro-Israel. That's right. You have American influencers who are willing to sell out, willing to do anything for money, that are meeting with this genocidal war criminal to ask him, how on earth do we keep the evangelical Christians who have criticism about what is happening in Gaza on board with the pro-Israel agenda? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is what is happening right here in the United States. People who are willing to just sell out anything. You got to see it to believe it. Check it out.
Evangelicals, from all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside the diaspora?
Did everybody hear what she just said? Let's just go back. This is an American influencer in this room. You have American influencers meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu. If you look over here to the right and you see the TV screen, it says Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's briefing with U.S. content creators. Why in the hell is the leader of a foreign country meeting with U.S. content creators? Why is this happening? No other leader of any other country is meeting with U.S. content creators. What is happening here? Everybody should be up in arms about this. I cannot stress this enough. Everyone should be frustrated and should want to pull their hair out over this. The fact that this is the type of pull Benjamin Netanyahu has, that he can have this discussion. They are sitting at a table with a guy who is killing children, killing women, who is starving children and starving women. This is who they are sitting at a table with. This honestly is crazier than I can ever make it. This is capitalism at its finest, where you find influencers who are willing to sell out their damn soul, anything to make a buck, to push and support this genocidal war criminal. How is this okay? How is it allowed? Could you imagine if Vladimir Putin was meeting with US content creators, the type of uproar this would have? So let's continue on.
Evangelicals, from all my research, evangelicals are the reason that Israel has been supported in public sphere outside of just Jews. So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside the diaspora?
Okay, the evangelical Christians, as I mentioned before, the majority of Zionists in the United States are Christian Zionists. Everyone needs to get that through their head. That's where a lot of Israel's support comes from. Now listen to what he says.
Christian influencers, okay. He said, we talked about the woke right, and he said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're movies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money.
So does everybody see what is happening here? Benjamin Netanyahu admits that their support from Christians on the right is now being challenged. This is what I was trying to tell you guys. This is why they want to focus on left versus right, because, you know, ultimately the majority of the right is pro-Israel, right? And there's people that are on the left that were pro-Israel. I don't know about now, but that's what they want to keep the focus there. So he is now admitting publicly that they are losing support from Christians on the right. This is a big deal. He acknowledges, he goes, oh, well, this has to do with money. Did you hear what he said about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson? And she mentioned their names. Do you hear what he said? He's like, oh, they're the woke The woke Reich is what he called them. Why is this man dictating what should happen with Americans? Ask yourself that question. This is the element of control that I was telling you guys about. They got you focused on your neighbor. They got you focused on your coworker. Oh, you're on the right. Oh, you're on the left. Look at who is pulling the strings. It gets crazier.
Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community. They're very, very important.
So do you see this? This is the plan to fight back. We do it with our influencers. So he is the prime minister of Israel, and he just referred to American influencers as his influencers, as Israel's influencers. Does everybody see this? Everybody see what's going on here? Again, imagine if it was Russia. Imagine if it was China. Absolutely insane. Wait for it.
And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well, okay? And you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is class
Followers.
TikTok.
So first he says you have to fight back with weapons. He even mentions drones. Again, this is the leader of another country saying this about American people. Then he goes on to say social media. What did I tell you a couple of years ago after October 7th about TikTok? The reason why they wanted to shut down TikTok is because a lot of young people were woken up about the true history of Palestine via TikTok. That is why, and they've been making this push for quite some time. Trump actually proposed shutting down TikTok under his first administration. A lot of people forget this. And then Biden had his issues with TikTok as well. And now you literally have a leader of another country saying, oh, well, we got TikTok now. We got TikTok. We'll get into, Larry Ellison and him buying, TikTok and all this type of stuff, how Zionists are coming in and buying up different platforms to push out the propaganda that they want. And I would make this argument. This does not make things better for Jewish people in the United States. It really doesn't. It doesn't. All this does, everybody is seeing what's going on. All this does, when they say, well, this is going to help make Jewish people safer, I disagree with that. I don't think that this does. I really don't. And let's also remember that a lot of Jewish people in the United States are anti-Zionist. So do you see what is happening here? You had a Zionist who bought up TikTok so that they can push the pro-Israel propaganda. But the U.S. government wants you to be upset with your neighbor. The U.S. government wants you to focus on fighting with your coworker because they voted differently than you. When you pay attention to the billionaires and you follow the money and you see what's really happening here, I told you guys at the end of the day, the one common enemy that we all have is the billionaire class. They are the ones that are setting the rules. They're the ones that are pushing the propaganda. So we have to wake up to that. The whole left-right fight, it's a distraction. Yes, there are issues that we disagree on, but I also feel as though billionaires, the military industrial complex, they have found a way to pit us constantly against each other. Let's let them finish here.
TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one? That's most important. X. That's very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend.
Publicly stating we have to talk to Elon. So here is the leader of another country publicly stating that we need to talk to Elon Musk, because we got to get him to do something about his algorithm on Twitter or X, whatever we want to call it these days. How is any of this okay? It's not. This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Imagine if Xi Jinping said, I got to talk to Elon to do something about his algorithm.
Should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot, and I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends, or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpoint? Yes.
This guy just said we have to give direction to Americans. We have to give direction. How are more people not angered about this? I just don't understand. It is absolutely insane. Now, as we said before, these influencers, right? So check this out. I told you before about these two. They're already doing it. If you go on TikTok, you will see a huge change now. Max Blumenthal said the best conservative influencers Israel can buy. Emily Austin participated in the Epstein binders hoax. Yes, she did. And joined Netanyahu's recent influencers meeting. Xavier DeRusso attended the secret Hamptons Influencer Summit with Bill Ackman, then jucketed off to Israel. Remember, this is the guy that said no one was starving in Gaza? They're already at it on TikTok, folks. Watch.
Imagine supporting people who start wars just to lose the wars so they can cry about it and then try it all again.
You must see anti-Semites are literally obsessed with Jews. Now walk with me. While you must see anti-Semites are stacking eviction notices, Jews are out here stacking up businesses.
They have a black man who is willing to support supremacy. A black man willing to support Israeli supremacy. Again, like I said, a lot of the people there are settlers, European settlers from Russia, Ukraine, Poland, Brooklyn, New Jersey. Some people will do anything for money. This is absolutely shameful and disgusting. Remember what I told you before? One of the greatest cool tools of white supremacy is to do it with a black face. Enter Xavier. This is just terrible, 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 terrible.
Jews control all the industries. Maybe if you spent more time taking notes from successful people, you wouldn't have to spend your nights and weekends spreading hate from your anonymous account with an anime profile picture.
Do you work as hard as Jews? Do you network like Jews? No, because you're too busy cheering on a group of musty terrorists who smell like dirty earring backs.
So now we're saying that Palestinians smell. And of course, the black man is the one saying it.
And if we're going to keep it real, you're really mad because your income is giving side hustle.
Period.
How you going to hate from outside, Shabbat? You can't even get in.
This is where we're at now. Black people, black community, wake up. Wake up. Look what's happening. Look what's going on here. Supporting white supremacy. That's really what this is at the end of the day. And there's a reason for that. There was an article from NPR that warned about people choosing a non-religious affiliation in 2024. This came out January 24th that year. Religious nuns are now the largest single group in the US. I don't know if everyone was aware of this, but I just want to show you some of the data here. A new study from Pew Research finds that religiously unaffiliated, a group comprised of atheists, agnostic, and those who say their religion is nothing in particular, is now the largest cohort in the United States. They're moving prevalent among American adults, then Catholics, 23%, or evangelical Protestants, 24%. Back in 2007, nuns made up just 16%. That was the warning that was sent out in 2024. As I told you guys before, when I worked in the university, a lot of the younger people are not religious, are not. And there's lots of reasons for that. For some people, religion represents a form of control. And a lot of younger people don't want to be controlled. And then also there's everything that's happening with Israel, you know, people are starting to question Christianity as well. So you see, the numbers are there. The data shows. And that's also important. Don't forget that Benjamin Netanyahu just had UN countries at the UN walk out on him.
Some in the crowd there that was motivated.
Order in the hall.
And he will take the speech. We will listen to it here, and we'll have analysis for you on the other side.
Please, order in the hall.
Everybody see this? Israel's losing support from the world.
Please, order in the hall.
Look at the room.
All right, what you're seeing here is the big walkout from the UN General Assembly, Sandra, because this has happened before to Prime Minister Netanyahu. You can see that the applause is coming from the Israelis as they sit there and watch these individuals decide that they can't sit and listen to a speech.
And trying to get order as Benjamin Netanyahu.
Look at the room. Look at the room. Yeah, people have walked out on him before, but not like this. Look at the room. The world has turned against Israel. We got to drop the beat for this. We got to drop the beat for this.
Let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure. Give them a name to remember. Hey, let's see how you do under pressure. Let's see how you do under pressure.
A moment can live on forever. Shout out to Nick Caution. Does everybody see this? This is what's happening, folks. This is the problem. The world has turned against Israel. And no, that's not good for Israel, despite what Benjamin Netanyahu may want you to believe. Now, recently, he was just on Fox News and he made this statement about Donald Trump. Everyone listen to this.
President Trump has been an incredible ally of Israel, incredible friend. We've had no one like him. What he did in his first term in recognizing Jerusalem as our capital, moving the American embassy there, recognizing our sovereignty over the Golan Heights, getting out of the disastrous Iran deal, and then, of course, now joining us in the effort to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons by taking out some of these nuclear sites with us. I think it's great. I read somewhere this ridiculous lie. President Trump does what he does because he decides what's in America's best interest. And I've said this often, I don't decide a thing for President Trump. He is the most independent leader, an amazing leader that I've seen in all my years, and I think many people in the world see that. So the idea that in any ways that I boast that I control him, that's ridiculous. It's a lie.
He is sweating pretty. It's kind of noticeably in this video. Don't get it twisted. Benjamin Netanyahu knows that losing the world's support is going to be a problem for Israel in the end. Now, two things can be true at the same time. Obviously, yes, it can be true that Donald Trump makes his own decisions, but it can also be true that the connection here with the Israeli lobby, the pressure that comes from the Israeli lobby, and of course, all the politicians that took money from the Israeli lobby, including Donald Trump, is a factor in decision-making when it comes to Israel. Let's just be real. Okay. So for him to pretend like there's no connection here with the Israeli lobby, with AIPAC, with Kufi, with J Street, we all know that money talks. We all know that there is a connection there. And Donald Trump took that money. Let's keep it real. Now, there's a little bit more that I want to show you as well. We talk about the TikTok issue. Don't forget, pro-Israel billionaires now taking over TikTok. From pro-Israel billionaires to Abu Dhabi royals meet the new owners of TikTok. TikTok US was sold for $14 billion to pro-Israel billionaires and Abu Dhabi royals, sparking fears of censorship of content about Gaza. So everybody sees what is happening here, trying to control the narrative. This is Larry Ellison. Larry Ellison owns Oracle. He's another billionaire. He now has his hands on TikTok. Listen to what he says here about his agenda.
Tell us, what is your connection to Israel?
Well, the renewal of the Jewish state is something that I think touches all of us. For 2,000 years, we were a stateless people. And now we have a country of our own, defended by all the brave men and women of the IDF. So anything we can do to support them, who devote their lives for preserving the state of Israel, keeping the people safe, and allowing our state to continue in sometimes in very, very difficult situations.
Did you visit Israel?
I have been to Israel. I have been to the border. I have spent time to the people who govern the state of Israel. And I feel a deep emotional connection to the state of Israel and the Israeli people.
You are a nice.
By the way, this was 2014, right? So you see what's happening here. Listen to the tech part.
Tech person. What do you think about Israeli startups and high-tech phenomena?
Oh, well, after Silicon Valley, there's an area, Herzliya has probably got more startups than any other place other than Silicon Valley in Northern California. So we've actually acquired a number of Israeli companies. We have two CEOs at Oracle. One's name is Safra Katz, and she was born in Israel. So again, we love the country of Israel, and we'll do everything we can to support the country of Israel.
We recently hear that many people criticizing Israel, especially after the Gaza operation. How do you feel as someone just saying you love Israel so much?
Well, again, it's a difficult situation, isn't it? To conduct military operations around civilians is very difficult, and of course, there were tragedies, and civilians were hurt. That's a terrible thing. But one thing we know for certain, that the Israeli army did everything they could to minimize civilian casualties. And in that regard, they've done a much better job than a lot of other armies all over the world throughout history.
Thank you very much.
That was 2014. Same talking points you hear today from the pro-Israel side. Like I said, they have a script. It's the same thing over and over, right? So people were criticizing then. Now, I want to draw your attention to this because Michael Schellenberger is on it. He said, we need digital IDs to halt migration, increase efficiency, and safeguard data, they say. But border control does not require digital IDs, and centralizing data is a hacker's dream. The real reason they want digital ID is for billions in fees and control of our behavior. Michael Schellenberger is correct. And here you will see, this is who he's calling out here. Oh, look, there's Larry Ellison. Total surveillance, censorship, and behavior control are real goals of digital ID advocates. So does anybody find it a coincidence here that the same guy who just brought TikTok, who's pro-Israel, also made excuses for Israel killing civilians back in 2014. See, you needed to see that. Also supports digital ID. Also wants increased surveillance. This is how far it has gone, ladies and gentlemen. You have to connect all the dots. The same people who want the surveillance, who want to cut down on free speech, who want control of TikTok, got now control of TikTok. The same entities that are doing this are the same entities that want the children, the women, the men of Gaza gone, that want a greater Israel, that expansion of the Israeli state. It is all cloaked in white supremacy. And that's the connection a lot of people are not making. This is a settler colonial expansion. And if you are pro-Israel, that is what you are supporting. You are supporting the slaughter of the Palestinian people. You are supporting settler colonialism, and you are supporting supremacy. That's what you're supporting. Don't try to make it seem like it's something different. Don't try to say, oh, it's complicated. It's a difficult situation. No, it is not. No, it isn't. That is a talking point that is perpetuated by Zionists and has continued till this day. At the end of the day, if they can't win with the influencers, then Israel will try to buy the companies that have the influencers on it. That's why they got TikTok now. So, listen, guys, I really predict it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. But all of these actions that they're doing doesn't erase what we already know and what we've already seen that has happened in Gaza. I don't think this is going to help Israel. I don't think this is going to increase support for Israel. If anything, it's just going to make people despise them more. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.